I would also like to thank our community partners and friends who took the time out of their busy schedule to help us launch Fil Am Vote and the Fil Am Vote team. Juanito Amor Jr. is our head Registrar of Voters, Filipino Language Services Coordinator and National Director. Amor, please.
Hello.
NAFA Fil Am Vote Program Director, Dr. Aurora Cudal. NAFA Fil Am Vote Coordinator of Region 10. National Co-Advisor, Dr. Vanji Meneses, President of the Council of Philippine American Organizations. Thank you, Vanji. Mr. Ram Sarno, President, House of the Philippines. Maraming salamat po. Mr. Andrew Morao, Program Coordinator of Operation Samahan. President of Unipro, Alicia Ricafente. Thank you. Tita Siamane, President of Mabuhay Festival. Maraming salamat po. And President of the Filipino American Chamber of Commerce, our beautiful Francine Maige, who is also our MC. Thank you for coming.
Good morning, my name is Francine Maige. I'm the current president and CEO of the Filipino American Chamber of Commerce of San Diego County, and I'm also proud to serve as district director for California State Assemblywoman Lorena Gonzalez, which represents the 80th Assembly District, which serves much of our Filipino population here in our region. We're gathered today because we're interested in making sure that our Filipino community continues to thrive and to succeed. We want to make sure that everyone is aware of their options and their opportunities, and that everyone feels empowered to have their voice heard on special issues, important issues, very timely issues that are unique to our community. This is for our veterans, our Filipino veterans, to whom much was promised and much has yet to still be delivered. This is for our students who are looking to pursue the careers of their dreams and want to finance their higher education. This is for our seniors and those that care for them in their golden years. They all need our support, and they all have ideas on how things can be made better, and we want to hear from them. And that's what today is about. Fil Am Vote, Fil Am Power, having a Fil Am voice. And now it's my pleasure to introduce someone who was one of the first charter members, the charter member of NAFA and past regional chair. She has been a devoted member of our community, a devoted leader and volunteer in so many different ways, always advocating and championing for our community. She has worked with the Registrar of Voters in the establishment of the language service, and she has been the president of COPAO. It's my honor to introduce one of our legends in the community, Dr. Aurora Cudal Rivera.
Thank you very much, Francine. I'm very happy to be here this morning and to really acknowledge the help and support of so many community leaders in launching the National Fil Am Vote program. NAFA was organized in 1997, and the first agenda that they really adopted is to increase the number of voters from the Filipino American community. We realized that for a long time our voices have not been heard. And so NAFA spearheaded the movement for Filipino community empowerment and civic engagement. The NAFA, which stands for National Federation of Filipino American Association, is based in Washington, D.C., and it is now a recognized voice of Filipino Americans from all over the country, including Hawaii and Guam and the Marianas. So what we're doing today is a very important step in order to disseminate information about the Fil Am Vote program. And I'm glad that we have with us Juanito Amor Jr., who is really the architect of this program. And I'm glad that the National Association really recognized his expertise and his contribution. And so I would like to present to you Juanito Amor Jr.
Thank you po, Dr. Fidel. Maraming salamat po. And good day to everyone. Fil Am Vote translate for Fil Am Power, People Power, or close known to our community as Power to the People, here in San Diego. And on behalf of the County of San Diego Registrar of Voters, we thank you for allowing me to be here to be part of this historical moment for our Fil Am Vote launching. Yes, I say that historical because this is the first in our country, in our city, in our proud national city, to have it here. So that's so wonderful. As your community liaison representative of the Registrar of Voters, I'm so proud to be a partner in collaboration with all our community leaders here in San Diego. Fil Am Vote is a national program directed at strengthening voter registration, voter education, voter protection, and Get Out the Vote program, which gives us the capabilities for all the Filipino communities nationwide. Now, Filipinos and Asian are the emerging voting key bloc that could significantly influence our national and also significantly our local elections here in San Diego. Our immediate objective is to register more Filipino voters between now and November 8th. Although we have a primary in June 7th, our target is our main general election. And to mobilize a huge voter turnout by the time all the polling place opens. We know that increasing the voting ranks of the Filipino American community, we will not only have our voices heard, but most assuredly make a difference in determining who will lead our community and our country. Now we say Fil Am Vote, the power, people power launching. It is not only an affirming of our civic responsibility as American citizens, but also as commemoration of the 1986 People Power Revolution in the Philippines, which has the 30-year celebration as of today. That historical moment taught the world that people can do collectively to assert their democratic rights to vote, fight against election fraud, and ensure that people will carry out what we want and be heard. Fil Am Vote therefore draws an energy, inspiration, passion, and courage of our millions of Filipinos who use the ballot box to make their voices heard. Despite the threat of the regime to suppress their right to participate in the electoral process, the Filipino people stood together to make sure that all our vote counted. Again, Fil Am Vote honors this powerful movement and committed to carry on the legacy of full active civic engagement of our Filipino American community. We indeed are gonna rock the Fil Am Vote. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Amor. Now it's my pleasure to introduce Dr. Vanji Meneses, who is a well-respected scholar in our community, the current president of COPAO, and she'll be talking about the details of the Fil Am Vote program.
Good morning.
Morning.
On behalf of the National Federation of Filipino American Association and Fil Am Vote, I appreciate your presence in witnessing the launch of this nationwide effort to educate and empower our Filipino communities to critically engage and exercise their right to vote. This launch has been symbolically scheduled to coincide, as Amor said, with the anniversary of the People Power Revolution that took place 30 years ago, today, February 24th, 1986, in the Philippines. Millions of courageous Filipinos came together under an authoritarian government to demand their right to a free, open, and honest election. And they also taught the world what people can accomplish when they come together and collectively take a stand. Fil Am Vote Region 10, San Diego, is proud and honored to stand with the other regions throughout the United States to increase the number of Filipino Americans to register and vote in the coming November 8th, 2016 elections. According to J.T. Malanga, who's chairman of NAFA, it is generally known that Asian Americans are the fastest growing voters in the United States today. They are emerging as a key bloc that could significantly influence national and local elections in the coming years. Fil Am Vote, Region 10 San Diego, has collaborated with the County of San Diego County Registrar of Voters and other key Filipino American community organizations. Through this collaboration, Fil Am Vote, Region 10 San Diego has taken on a vital role in the development of strategy, education, and training of other regions and interested parties in increasing voter turnout. Fil Am Vote seeks to honor the people power movement and is committed to carry on the legacy of full civic and active engagement of the Filipino American community. Thank you.
Thank you for Dr. Menezes. Now please welcome a leader in our community that continues to weave different organizations together, especially through his efforts as president of the House of the Philippines, Mr. Ron Sarno.
Thank you, Francie. Good morning. To have a successful program like Fil Am Vote, you need a strategy, and one of the things that we've done is to develop a strategic plan to implement our goals for Fil Am Vote. Our mission is to unite, build, and increase political empowerment by engaging Filipino Americans in San Diego County. Our vision is the Fil Am Vote Committee envisions an empowered Filipino American community that has a proactive representative alliance of educated and informed voters of San Diego County. Our challenge is to identify key target individuals and groups and identify best methods of engaging that target group and that target audience. We have developed a goal to increase the number of registered employees, not employees, but voters in San Diego County. Our goal for registration is to increase by 5% for the November election by 2,129 registered voters, and to increase the turnout by 10%, which will be approximately 1,800 turnout for those folks to come out and vote. So with the collaboration of the organizations present here today, we will be implementing the education, getting folks involved, protecting the voters, and then also getting out the vote. So we thank you for being here today, and we appreciate your support. Thank you.
And now we're going to invite Andrew Amorao from Operation Samahan, who is leading their civic engagement program, to illustrate how the strategic plan is already being implemented.
Thank you, Francine. Good morning, everyone. At Operation Samahan Community Health Centers, we actually launched our civic engagement program back in 2014. And so we are in the second year of our program, and it was through the generous support of the Association of Asian Pacific Community Health Organizations that we're able to accomplish this. We are right now the only federally qualified health center in San Diego County to have our own civic engagement program. And we are proud and honored to be part of Fil Am Vote and the community organizations that are part of this project. We definitely want to make sure that our community has multiple ways in registering to vote. So one way that we've accomplished that is actually offering an online voter registration tool. So if you go to operationsamahan.org, there is actually a way to register to vote online. So we want to make sure that all of our community has access to voter registration services. We want to also make sure that they actually get out to vote, which has been historically low in the Filipino American community and just in communities of color in general. And so we want to change this. We want to make sure that our communities are actively involved, making sure that our voices are heard and that we're able to have impact on this upcoming election. So thank you very much.
The Mayor of National City, Honorable Ron Morrison, who is a great supporter of the Filipino community.
Thank you very much. Well, the question comes out is, does your vote really count? And that's what really, so many people come up with that idea. You take a look at President Andrew Johnson, who was impeached by the US Senate. And when it finally came to a vote whether they were going to convict him of impeachment or not, they went through and did the roll call, and they came down to the final senator, and guess what? Because one senator was out, actually was hospitalized, it was a tie vote. And it came down to the final senator, and the senator did not like the president, and did not like what he was doing, and did not care for his policies. But as it is said, he looked over the precipice of his career, and he says, I don't want to bring this upon my country to have a president impeached just because I didn't like him. And he voted not to impeach, and so therefore we've never had a president impeached. That one vote made that difference. What did we just have the election in Chula Vista that just finally got finished in the courts after a year and a half because of 2 votes? Your vote does count. And this is not about Republican, Democrat, independent, liberal, conservative, or anything else. It's about individuals who can register with their hand, with a pen. But as we, as individuals, vote with our heads, we become educated and we make intelligent and individual decisions. And that is what we need more and more in our community, because otherwise we can complain after the election all we want to, but if we weren't a part of it, and we don't become part of the part of the solution, we become part of the problem. We need representative government, but it can't represent us unless we vote for or against it.
Thank you.
So, on behalf of a community, thank you for what you're doing as we look for better and better representative government.
Thank you.
We have almost 200,000 Filipinos here in San Diego. It's inexcusable that not more of those folks participate in the process of voting. There are many issues that we have to address with a sense of urgency, a greater sense of urgency. We can no longer wait. We can no longer afford to feel and to act like a supporting player in our society.
We contribute much, and now is our chance to contribute in this way, to have our voice heard. A key part of our Filipino values is the Bayanihan spirit. The root of Bayanihan is Bayani, to be one another's hero. That means standing up for one another and championing change that's going to take our community forward. We are a resourceful people, we are a hospitable people, and now we need to act like the empowered community that we are. At this time, we're open to any questions. Any final words from our speakers?
Sure. Let's talk about. I mean, for me, I'm so proud that we have this banner. If we could show this banner, to where we came out with the simplest form of our of voting, getting out our community motivated to vote. So we came out with this program called the Fil Am Vote program, and it's very simplified to where Fil Am Vote program is voter registration, voter education, voter protection, get out the vote. Now, voter registration, just one of the key, because as a requirement, you have to be 18, you have to be a U.S. citizen, not in, of course, in prison or in parole. In the voting districts, you need to be living here in the county of San Diego, and lastly, not disqualified by judge or by court. Now, the voter education part of our program is so many different issues that we're going to talk about. Like our measures, our propositions, our candidates, of course. We've got to pick a person, choose a person that will have our beliefs and our ideals, that will lead us. Also, with that, the voter education is we're going to have a candidate class to where if anyone wants to do campaign or have a Filipino running for office, we can now have that program under voter education. And voter protection. Did you know that in California, we have the Voter Bill of Rights? And this is something that it's so unique in California, because did you know that other states does not have a Voter Bill of Rights? So we are unique here in California, and that's the thing that we need to be proud of, that we need to use that voter protection. And with that are the important dates, during the election day, to which Ram talked about, that you need to register in California 15 days before the election. And lastly, is what I'm proud of, is we need to get out to vote. We need to get our community, if they cannot drive, we need to pick them up and take them there. There has to be no more excuse, that's what Francine said, to where if they do not know the language, because they're just new immigrants and became a citizen, we can help them out. That's the reason why we have Tito Myrna and Dr. Kudal as being poll workers for our community. And I'm proud to say that it was actually passed by our first Filipino-American assemblyperson, Rob Bonta, to have immigrants now be part of the polling place, to be a poll worker. These are the new wonderful things that our program is coming up with. But of course, as a community, we need to get your suggestions so we can, have more of these ideas come for our community. Again, once again, thank you. Francine, I give it back to you.
All right, if you want to see your American dream come to fruition in the way you'd like, you've got to speak up, you've got to participate. We have many goals, many dreams for our community, and the only way we can make that happen is if we unite, we get our community educated, we get them registered, and we get them out there voting. Maraming salamat po. Kaya natin to, di ba?
Kaya natin to.
Mabuhay!
Mabuhay!